Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, February 25th. Quite a mild start to the day in the Mid-Atlantic region. It looks like, well, mild conditions right through much of tomorrow throughout the Mid-Atlantic with occasional rain or drizzle. Some patchy, dense fog could develop as well, especially in the overnight hours tonight. All the way from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City, there could be some light rain or drizzle in the overnight hours, along with the possibility of some dense fog. By late tomorrow evening, a strong cold front will be approaching from the west. Looks like that could cause a few heavier downpours, maybe even a strong thunderstorm or two tomorrow evening in the I-95 corridor region of the Mid-Atlantic region. Then much colder air follows that frontal passage for late Wednesday night and Thursday. It looks like that cold air, colder than normal for this time of the year, will stick around not only on Thursday and Friday, but right through the upcoming weekend as well, with, again, below normal temperatures in much of the Mid-Atlantic region for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Before we get to the short-term weather situation, I thought we'd take a look at sea surface temperatures. We haven't looked at those in a while here, especially focused on the Pacific Ocean, with some of the things we'll be monitoring over the next several weeks, over the next few months. First of all, this is the equator horizontal line right here in this region. Notice we still have some above normal temperatures in the middle and western part of the Pacific Ocean, the tropical part of the Pacific Ocean. A weak El Nino continues at this time, but this is a very interesting area right here, kind of a growing area of the eastern Pacific with below normal sea surface temperatures. And there are certainly some signs now that La Nina, colder than normal sea surface temperatures, may develop in the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean over the next few months, perhaps by the latter part of the summer season. This, in other words, can continue to expand. The weak El Nino, indicated here by the yellows and oranges, may continue to dissipate over the next couple of months. And again, some computer forecast models are indicating that we could have La Nina conditions by mid to late summer. And if indeed that does develop, that could have an impact on the Atlantic Basin tropical season that really gets underway officially on June 1st, but certainly can happen at any time as dictated by Mother Nature. But again, if La Nina indeed forms over the tropical Pacific, that could have an impact on the Atlantic Basin tropical season. La Nina could also impact California drought conditions, could even have an impact on global temperatures if it sticks around and gets strong enough later this year going into 2021. Perhaps even will have an impact on the next winter season, that of 2020-2021. Another area I want to point out is quite interesting. The early part of the winter, one of the reasons expected a little bit colder than normal conditions for this winter season, which certainly has not panned out in the eastern part of the U.S., was because of a large area of above normal sea surface temperatures tucked into the northern part of the Pacific, right in this region right here. That has changed quite a bit since November. In fact, we'll take a comparison look in a moment here, but basically has dissipated over the last few months. I expected that to have helped pump up a ridge over Alaska, but instead Alaska has actually had a very cold winter with more or less upper level trough situated over Alaska during the winter season, and it's basically been a strong jet stream from the northern Pacific into the western part of Canada that has tended to bottle up that cold air during the winter season over Alaska and the rest of the Arctic region. But again, part of the reason for that forecast was that large area of above normal sea surface temperatures expected to continue through the winter season over the northern Pacific. It did not, has dissipated, even an area of below normal temperatures now sitting off the west coast. So this will be an area we'll watch over the next few months, and especially down here in the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean. In terms of comparison, let's take a look here. This is the current sea surface temperature map here, and here's the way it looked back in the middle part of November, the latter part of November. Pretty substantial change occurring over the North Pacific with this above normal a blob of warm water here back in November. Now it's pretty much dissipated somewhat here. Also, take a look at this region right here. Notice this area below normal sea surface temperatures back in late November. That has kind of expanded to the north and west. And again, there are some signs that it'll continue to expand to the north and west, and we may have La Nina conditions by the middle or latter part of the upcoming summer season. Well, let's take a look at the short-term weather situation here. First of all, let's start off with the radar loop from NOAA's weather website, and there will be occasional light rain or drizzle today, tonight, and tomorrow. Maybe even a heavier downpour or two, but really the threat of the heavier downpours is confined to tomorrow evening. At that time, a strong cold frontal system will be moving from the west to the east across the mid-Atlantic region. Could produce a few heavier downpours, maybe even a strong thunderstorm or two, and then following that frontal system, much colder air will ride in on strong northwest winds late Wednesday night and during the day on Thursday. But again, for the next several hours, off and on rain, really right through tomorrow afternoon, off and on rain. And again, watch out for patchy fog at times, especially later tonight. In the overnight hours, there could be some dense fog developing in the D.C. metro region, Philly metro region, New York City, all the way throughout the mid-Atlantic region. Mild conditions right into tomorrow evening. Well, let's take a look at last night's zero-Z operational run of the GFS model. Not much going on right now across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, but some rain is on the way. It is already raining down across the D.C. metro region. Low pressure will move from the Ohio Valley into the eastern U.S., and with it will come occasional light rain or drizzle. Again, mostly a light rain situation for the next several hours. Maybe a brief heavier burst of moderate rain over the next several hours, but basically light rain or drizzle on an occasional basis through tomorrow afternoon, and then again watch out for that patchy fog. As has been typical this winter season, low pressure moves kind of over the mid-Atlantic region, not to the south and east of here. That confines the snow threat well to the west of the I-95 corridor, in this case across the upper part of the Midwest and the Great Lakes region here. And then we'll watch later tomorrow. Here's the forecast map for tomorrow evening. A stronger development of low pressure will be associated with that frontal situation late in the day tomorrow evening. This will have a trailing strong cold front, and right at this time right here, late tomorrow evening, that strong cold frontal system will push right through the I-95 corridor region. Could be associated with some heavier downpours, maybe even a strong thunderstorm or two with some wind gusts of note past 30-35 miles per hour or so. On the cold side of this low pressure area, snow, maybe accumulating snow on the significant side across the eastern Ohio Valley, the eastern part of the Great Lakes. But again, on the warm side here, at least for a while, in the I-95 corridor region. Then we get to the period late tomorrow night going into early Thursday morning. The colder air starts to pour into the mid-Atlantic region. The winds will shift to the northwest, kick up quite noticeably late tomorrow night into early Thursday. There's an outside chance that the rain ends in some snow shower activity late tomorrow night, early Thursday, especially north and east of the Mason-Dixon line. And again, significant snow across the upstate part of New York and interior New England during the day on Thursday. A cold, windy day for the most part in the big cities along the I-95 corridor region. And it looks like this time the cold air will stick around for perhaps 4 days, right through the weekend. Here we are now Friday night and into Saturday. Kind of a reinforcing shot of colder than normal air arrives in time for the upcoming weekend. So we actually may step down a little bit in temperatures between Friday, which will be colder than normal, and Saturday. But again, it looks like colder than normal period setting up for the much of the eastern U.S. for the bulk of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Before we get to that, though, we have a strong cold frontal system that could bring a strong thunderstorm to some areas tomorrow evening. Mild today, tonight, and tomorrow with off and on rain, and watch out for some patchy dense fog as well, especially in the overnight hours. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.